I often go into a game blind. No follow-up trailers, no dev blogs, no media hype. Something about Dune Awakening made me want to preserve that feeling of discovery. Maybe it was the iconic source material, maybe it was the fact that Funcom, the team behind Conan Exiles, was steering the ship. Either way, I chose to walk into Arrakis blind. And I'm glad I did. Since last Thursday, I've spent over 35 hours navigating the brutal beauty of this survival MMO RPG. Now that the game fully launches today, I'm here to share what Dune Awakening does well, where it shows promise, and why fans of both survival mechanics and Frank Herbert's universe should be paying attention. Dune Awakening introduces an alternate timeline, one where Paul Atreides' prophecies didn't pan out as expected. Instead, the Sardaukar have seized control of Arrakis after wiping out the Fremen. The balance of power is already off kilter, and you're thrown into this political chaos under the guidance of a Bene Gesserit agent urging you to find remnants of the Fremen. What stood out immediately was the production value. The narrative isn't tacked on for flavor, it's presented with cinematic flair. Cutscenes are tightly animated, the voice acting is sharp, and the musical score hits that perfect blend of sci fi and mysticism that Dune is known for. At times, it honestly feels like the kind of polish you'd expect from something like Mass Effect, not an MMO. Even more compelling is a sense of agency. Dialogue choices, faction alignments, and betrayals feels like they carry real consequences so far.
Okay, we got choices here. You mentioned escape. Who are you? What is this place? How do we come to crash?
Visually, this is an impressive looking MMO. Built in Unreal Engine 5, the game leverages both Lumen and Nanite, albeit with some necessary compromises for performance. Lumen, even when toned down, still brings the world to life in a way static lighting never could. It's integrated into the survival gameplay as well. Standing too long in direct sunlight will burn you, forcing you to use shadows to cool down and stay alive. Nanite does the heavy lifting when it comes to world detail. From sand-swept ruins to decaying vehicles, from subterranean caverns to towering canyons, Arrakis feels handcrafted and rich with history. I'm particularly obsessed with the way sand deformation works here. The way it sways and gets reformed because of the weather feels very fluid and dynamic. Because Dune Awakening is a premium title, resource acquisition respects your time. Nodes are plentiful and well placed, making early progression flow smoothly. There's still some grind, especially for high-end gear and deeper crafting systems, but nothing that feels like a time sink for the sake of it. Combat is where the game surprises me the most. Gunplay and close quarters combat are tight, responsive, and satisfying. Fighting Holtzman's shielded enemies introduces a smart rhythm. Slowing down your strikes to land penetrating blows give both audio and visual feedback that feels earned. As for the survival loop, it's challenging without being punishing. Gear degradation is fair, hydration is a real concern, and if you aren't managing your resources, exsanguination and blood purification systems included, you'll quickly find that the desert is unforgiving. It's a system that respects smart preparation and punishes recklessness. I've lost countless Solaris in being reckless.
I'm more than likely to enter up there. This is nice. Can I enter here? Oh. Oh shit. Yo. Very impressed with the environment. Oh shit. Yeah, face me.
The interface is easy to pick up, intuitive for anyone with MMO or survival game experience. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, but it doesn't have to. It's readable, thematically consistent with the Dune universe, and gets out of the way when you need it to. Itemization follows a traditional rarity path, but there's a noticeable spike in challenge once you reach the northern parts of the major zone. Basic and rare gear hold their own early on, but it's quickly become apparent that progression demands not just better stats, but thoughtful customization and upgrades. Thankfully, the intel system, used to unlock schematics, flows well here. It's well paced, strategic, and tied directly to exploration and leveling. The servers are
Oh
persistent
man.
and
All right.
character based, meaning your choices stick with you. There's voice over IP,
All right,
seamless
we got that
multiplayer
one.
interaction,
Holy
and
shizzle.
plenty of emergent moments. I consistently run into multiple player made structures that tell their own
In front of me,
stories,
eat me alive.
bunkers built into
And
cliffs,
as I was
makeshift
saying, Shai
outposts
Alud is right
near
there.
dune fields, ruined strongholds that
I gotta
have
go to the
clearly
nearest
seen a few
rock area,
skirmishes,
so I'll
all of
prevent
which
it from
never makes
coming to
exploration
me. But
feel
it is
empty.
chasing me at the
Navigating
moment,
dense caverns,
and I
surveying
hear some
vast dunes, or
chickens
cautiously
that was actually kind
crossing
of
areas
terrifying.
where the Shai
But where's
Halud
the
might
other
stir
side?
beneath your
Yeah, look
feet,
at that
the world
shit. Oh
remains
my god.
dynamic and dangerous.
Oh,
It's still
it's a player. That's a player.
he's quite
Oh,
fucking
he's
alive.
fucked. Oh, he survived. Yo, he's out, dude.
Respect the worm, man.
That's crazy. Yo, he was out, bro.
But all this praise doesn't come cheap. The game has minor issues that I think can be fixed server side. For example, Shai Halud respawns too often, also teleports right after it spawns. Climbing can lead to your character clipping through
Oh, they shut them
environments.
out deep
I
because
often
of
clip through
from
nodes.
the
Driving
big
my
ass
vehicle is
motion.
amazing, but it can
Like slow
sometimes
motion.
flip over too easily. The fact that when I'm floating above a dune, like using a suspender belt or a combination of my speed
All
boost
right, bro, I
ability,
marked
the
it, so
vibration
let's go this
features
way.
are still active for Shahilu to detect.
Okay.
You know,
Shelter.
things that I
Nice.
think can be fixed if focused on well enough. None of it,
I should be
however,
good
has
now,
been
right?
too game breaking. There were minor
Oh,
hiccups with server
Arrakis is
logins
out
during
here.
pre launch access. Nothing show stopping,
My
but
man
enough
is
to raise
out here.
concerns that launch day could bring long queues and connectivity strains. That said, Funcom has handled these type of rollouts before,
Shit, I'm
so
about to
I'm
die.
cautiously
And there's
optimistic
a
they'll
lot of
scale up
shitheads
as
here.
needed.
So let's kill them
Again,
all.
this is just a
Eat me
preview,
blood
and there's
and
a lot more to
vitamins.
explore in Dune Awakening,
And
and I'm
bullets.
barely
Oh my
scratching the
god. Oh, this is
surface.
gonna be
With
tough.
35 hours logged in and a level
That's
48
pretty
character
sweet.
ready to build his first ornithopter, I've only begun to understand how deep this desert rabbit hole goes. But what I've seen so far, it's a promising, well executed, and surprisingly immersive take on a genre that's more often grind than
Dude, I'm like
substance.
really
Thanks
impressed
for
with like
watching.
the
Stay
melee
tuned for
combat. Like
a full
like
review
I'm
as I dive
genuinely
deeper into the political systems,
impressed with
faction
this.
dynamics, and long term progression. For now, grab your still suit and prepare for the heat.
I want to get that.
Arrakis
I need
does
that
not
boost. I
forgive
need
the
that boost. I need that.
unprepared. For more on Dune Awakening
All
and
right, I got
gaming,
you.
follow all my socials that'll be linked below. I also stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern or sooner over on Twitch, Kick, TikTok, and YouTube. This is Chris Architect
All
from
right.
gstarmag.com. Until next time.
As much as I can make, and then I'll be done with that, and then we'll be able to craft. Oh wait, yeah, this wrong button again. We do need cobalt paste, which we're gonna make 11. Apparently, that's all I can make. Let's finish making 68 of these. All right, we got things making. You know, uh, refining. Let me see if I can put more blood in here just so that I can. Oh, I'm already done. I have water on me. I'm fully healed. I'm in a safe zone, and my wife is playing The Last of Us Part 2. Oh, she's. Oh, you're gonna wake the babies up, babe. Sorry. All right, I'm gonna call it here, guys. Thank you very much. You guys was super duper awesome tonight. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. I'll be streaming tomorrow as well. Hopefully sooner. I don't think there's anything I need to worry about in terms of overtime tomorrow. So I should be home sooner rather than much later. And I'll be streaming this for about the same amount of time, 2 to 3 hours. Tonight I'm cutting it a little short because, you know, I'm tired. I'm real tired. I made decent progress in terms of building, but not so much with story. So tomorrow, what I'm gonna do is after I'm done with all this, I'm probably gonna tackle the story, and I need to go to the next trial, the next Fremen trial, which is the 6th one. I don't know how many there are in total, but I'm hoping to get this done so that I can go to the next zone. I want to finish or do as much as I can before I finish writing this review on Friday, and I might more than likely gonna make a video format. So yeah, with that being said, good night. Have a great rest. Thank you very much for stopping by. Let's quit this game so I can make sure everything's good.